If you think black folks are quietly moving out of certain states, think again. This isn't a gentle trickle, it's a full-blown migration. The stats are clear: black Americans are packing up and heading to new cities and new opportunities. It's not just about finding a job. This is about affordable living, vibrant communities, personal safety, and in some places, just the basic right to thrive. Welcome to the next great migration, a wave of black families, professionals, and whole communities moving toward places that actually respect their presence and potential. If you think this is some random trend, you're missing the bigger picture. There are deep reasons why some states are losing black residents at record rates, while others are becoming magnets for black success. Some call it economic empowerment. Others say it's about dignity and justice. Some folks just want a backyard without a six-figure down payment. But which states are black folks leaving the fastest? And where are they going instead? Stick around as we break down the top 10 states black Americans are leaving. Some of them might surprise you. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Modern Roots with Tessa, and tap the bell for more on urban shifts, migration, and black achievement. Drop your thoughts below. Why do you think this is happening? Let's jump in. Number 10, Connecticut. If you ever wanted to pay $2,800 for a one-bedroom and get a parking ticket every week, Connecticut might be your spot. But for a lot of black residents, it's a wrap. Let's talk Hartford and New Haven, cities with history and charm, but also some of the steepest rent in New England. Median home price? Nearly $400,000 statewide, but expect way more in the cities. Rent? Get ready to fork over $2,000 a month for the privilege of hearing your neighbors every step. And while Connecticut likes to brag about its Ivy League connections, the black community often feels sidelined. There's culture here, but nothing close to the thriving black scenes you'll find down south. Hartford's black population hovers around 38%, but cultural support and business opportunities lag far behind. So what happens when the cost of living keeps rising but the sense of community doesn't? Simple: people go where they're wanted. Black families are leaving Connecticut faster than you can say, Yale tuition. Does this surprise you, or is it exactly what you expected? Let me know down below. Number 9, Alabama. Alabama, where the food is legendary, the music is soulful, and the summer storms will make you rethink your address. For many black families, it's been home for generations. But between unpredictable weather, a shaky job market, and a political climate that can feel downright hostile, more and more are saying goodbye. Let's talk natural disasters. Tornadoes, floods, and hurricanes don't just make the news, they upend lives. Rebuilding every few years isn't just exhausting, it's expensive. Add in an economy that leans heavy on agriculture and manufacturing, and you've got jobs that come and go with the seasons. Black homeownership? Still lower than the national average, and wage growth just isn't keeping up. Sure, the culture is rich, but when you're forced to start over every few years, Atlanta or Charlotte start looking real good. Would you stay for the culture, or are you already eyeing a new zip code? Number 8, Indiana. Indiana is losing black residents at a rapid pace, and no, it's not just because of the winters. Let's start with Indianapolis. Once a beacon of black entrepreneurship, it's now facing rising crime, underfunded schools, and a job market that feels stuck in neutral. For black parents, the education system just isn't delivering. Large classroom sizes, aging schools, and limited extracurriculars make it tough to feel optimistic about the future. And then there's the job market. Indiana loves to tout its auto industry, but for black professionals in tech, healthcare, or media, opportunities are limited. Meanwhile, cities like Houston, Raleigh, and Charlotte are rolling out the red carpet for black talent. So the decision gets easier: stay and struggle or move and thrive. It's no wonder moving companies in the Midwest are booked solid. Is Indiana a state on the rise, or is the writing already on the wall? Number 7. Maryland. Maryland. Home of crabs, the Chesapeake, and some of the highest costs of living on the East Coast. For black homeowners, it's a tough pill to swallow. The average property tax bill here is among the highest in the nation, and housing prices in places like Prince George's County have exploded. Renters don't have it much better. $2,200 a month for a two-bedroom isn't unusual, and groceries and utilities are right behind. The frustration? Many black communities aren't seeing the investment they deserve. While some neighborhoods thrive, others are struggling with aging infrastructure and lackluster schools. So what's the move? For thousands, it's heading south. Georgia, Texas, and Florida are increasingly attractive thanks to lower costs and bigger black communities. Maryland's proximity to D.C. is nice, but when the price tag outweighs the perks, people are packing up. Would you hang on for the job market, or are you ready for a change? Number 6. Wisconsin. Black families are leaving Wisconsin, and it's not just about the snow. Once a center for manufacturing, cities like Milwaukee now rank high in racial disparities, education, employment, even incarceration. For black parents, public schools are a constant concern. Underfunded, overcrowded, and underperforming, they're driving families to look elsewhere. And then there's housing. Sure, you can find cheap rent, but many neighborhoods face chronic disinvestment. Groceries cost more, transportation is limited, and job prospects in the city are shrinking. Meanwhile, suburbs don't always feel welcoming. So more and more black families are saying goodbye to Wisconsin winters and hello to new beginnings in places like Texas, Arizona, and North Carolina. If you had to choose, would you wait it out or head for warmer weather? Halfway through. Are you living in one of these states? Thinking about moving? Or have you already found your new home? Drop your stories in the comments. What's pushing people out? Rising costs, stagnant jobs, or just the feeling that you could belong somewhere else? Hit like so more folks see what's really happening. Number 5. Minnesota. Minnesota, land of 10,000 lakes, and lately, thousands of departures. For black residents, the Twin Cities once offered opportunity and safety. Today? Rising housing costs, tense community relations, and a job market that's not as welcoming as it sounds. Minneapolis has seen major protests, rising rents, and a shrinking sense of belonging for black families. Jobs in healthcare and education are strong, but for black professionals in other industries, opportunities can feel limited. Add in harsh winters, and suddenly, Dallas or Charlotte starts sounding like paradise. Even affordable neighborhoods are now seeing rent increases, and homeownership is slipping out of reach. So, stay for the lakes or head for the sun? More and more folks are choosing the latter. Number 4. Michigan. Michigan is losing black residents, and Detroit's comeback story isn't enough to stop it. Once the crown jewel of black culture and industry, Detroit has lost over half its population since 1970. Factories closed, jobs vanished, and schools have struggled ever since. Black families looking for stable education and safe neighborhoods are finding it harder to stay hopeful. Sure, houses are cheap, but cheap doesn't mean safe or well-maintained. Crime, unemployment, and a lack of investment have left some neighborhoods feeling stuck in the past. Other cities like Flint and Saginaw aren't faring much better. So what's the next move? Head to states where the economy is booming and black communities are growing. Would you wait for the Motor City to turn it around, or is it time to drive off into a new future? Number 3. Illinois. Illinois, especially Chicago, was once the epicenter of black prosperity in the Midwest. Today? Not so much. Manufacturing jobs have evaporated, and unless you're in tech or finance, opportunities are slim. Rising taxes, budget cuts, and public services stretched thin, black families are feeling the squeeze. And then there's safety. While Chicago has world-class culture and food, many neighborhoods face violence and underinvestment. It's not just Chicago, suburbs and other cities are struggling, too. So what's the move? Cities like Atlanta, Dallas, and Phoenix are calling, offering affordability, jobs, and Black excellence in abundance. Would you stick around hoping for a renaissance, or are you already in moving mode? Number 2, California. California, the Golden State, or the state of sticker shock. For Black residents, it's getting harder to justify staying. Rent in LA, San Francisco, and Oakland is sky-high, $3,000 for a one-bedroom is common. Gentrification has pushed Black families out of historic neighborhoods, and homeownership is now a fantasy for most. Even basic living, groceries, gas, taxes, is more expensive here than almost anywhere else. The job market is great if you're in tech or entertainment, but for everyone else, it's a struggle. The promise of California is fading, and cities like Houston, Vegas, and Atlanta are welcoming Black professionals with open arms, and far more reasonable prices. Would you try to make it work, or is it time to leave the coast behind? Number 1, New York. New York, the city that never sleeps, but lately, a city a lot of people are leaving. Black communities in Brooklyn, the Bronx, and Harlem are shrinking as rents skyrocket and gentrification changes everything. $4,000 a month for a decent apartment isn't unusual, and buying a home? You'll need a small fortune and a lot of luck. The job market is tough unless you're in finance or media, and the city's legendary energy comes with an even more legendary price tag. Black professionals are choosing cities where their money goes further, where they can actually own a home, and where community feels less like a relic and more like a reality. Would you stay and fight for a piece of the Big Apple, or are you ready for a new chapter somewhere else? That's our list. What do you think? Would you stick it out in these states, or is it time to move on? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real talk on migration, community, and Black brilliance.